Arsenal have gone ahead to make an inquiry about the availability of Conor Gallagher. Story being reported to us by the Team Talk in here onto the Football News Show. The dates of the Emirates Cup have gone ahead to be announced, and we know which team Arsenal is going to be playing in the due course of those days. And there are two teams that Arsenal is really set to play into the mix. We are going to be talking a little bit about Kylian Mbappé, on whether he's going to be available for selection for the national team of France. There is a certain law that is going to be instituted in there for you that might obviously see him blocked from really taking part into this important fixture of the national team of France at the Euros. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Spain went ahead to join Germany to be one of the teams that have gone ahead obviously book a place into the next round of the knockout stage after beating Italy by 1-0. So Juma Karim to the Muslims, and we obviously thank God for the gift of life. Now let's obviously go into this story coming in through from the side of Team Talk. Arsenal have reportedly asked about the situation of Chelsea star Conor Gallagher. Now, Conor Gallagher is a Chelsea player. He's left with just 1 year on his contract, and he is a player who is really having 24 years of age, and he made 24 years of age in 24th February. Now, if this happens to be true, I ask myself that what is Arsenal really needing? You know, is what I'm going to obviously tell you about that they might see very many English players leave affecting their transfer plan, because if you are losing out on very many players that are really English, you have to get in more English players. That's why I told you that's the spirit in which I'm seeing Arsenal signing in English players, because they will be having limited homegrown players. For the side of for the side of Reece Nelson, a lot of teams have gone ahead to show in interest to obviously sign him, and that really sends a very clear image that nothing is really going to be the same, not until that is really sorted. So for Conor Gallagher, I don't think that he's a player that is supposed to be playing for the club of Arsenal. And right now, if he's to play for Arsenal, he should be among those players that are bench players. And when you look at the team of Arsenal, is it lacking bench players, or it's lacking more quality into its squad? I think Arsenal now have to go for finished articles. You know, they should go for finished articles or players whose quality is really good and estimated to be one of the best, if at all they play alongside big teams. That is it. So for Conor Gallagher, he's a player that I tell you is not gonna start into that Chelsea midfield. No way, because we know that our pivot has Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo. There is also Ramel Lavia, and I tell you, he won't even be played in the number 10 because they will be playing there a player called Carl Palmer, meaning that he's a bench player at Chelsea. And how come Arsenal want to sign him? I don't really see this deal very credible for the side of Arsenal. I think Arsenal is beyond signing Conor Gallagher. When you look at the recent two players that Arsenal is going to hit to get from Chelsea, they are players that have been in the first team of Chelsea. You get? And their impact at the side of Arsenal is going to hit obviously be felt by the fans. Look at Jorginho and what he has going to hit with the club of Arsenal ever since he signed last winter window in 2023. He is really one of those players that have going to hit obviously show their impact at the club of Arsenal. Look at Kai Havertz and what he went ahead to do at the club of Arsenal. You understand? So I don't want to see anyone coming out and saying, Rokani, we need Conor Gallagher. Guys, Conor Gallagher is not a bad player, but is not the player that Arsenal need. You understand? And let no one lie to you that Conor Gallagher is a finished article. And I think he's a player who can go to Spurs and thrive, Newcastle, Aston Villa, those kinds of clubs. But if you're Arsenal and you're trying to bridge the gap in between you and the side of Man City, then why do you obviously go in for that caliber of a player? I think Arsenal should be looking at players at teams like Newcastle that have gone ahead to thrive. And I was really excited that Arsenal was looking in for Bruno Guimaraes and Ishak from the side of Newcastle. Those players are ready to take it to the top level where Arsenal is. You get, and if at all any of those joins the side of Arsenal, he'll obviously impact bridging the gap in between them and Man City, and maybe even lifting the trophy. Look at players like Douglas Luiz, Onana. They're players that you feel like they really have a lot. And spending 40 to 50 million pounds on Conor Gallagher, if I'm Arsenal, I go and get in for Fana, or Zubimendi, or Onana to come in through and obviously do the job at the club of Arsenal. But I can't come out and really see this deal as one of those that Arsenal is going to do. But inquiring on the situation of Conor Gallagher can be done by any team. But you cannot inquire about a player that you don't have interest in. You understand? We only inquire about players we have interest in. So, if you don't have interest in any player, then why should you go all out and really make an inquiry rather? So, for Conor Gallagher to Arsenal, it's a deal I don't see happening. Though the inquiry is going to have to be made, but it's one of those deals that you'll need to live like a tortoise to see it happen. I don't see it happen, and I don't think that Arsenal can spend 60 million pounds to obviously get in Conor Gallagher, because if Arsenal are gonna move out Thomas Partey and let him go, then they need a player who is having attributes of a number 8 and number 6, and Conor Gallagher doesn't tick all those boxes. You can all agree with me. So he's really a far-fetch for me, and I don't know why it's being linked on here. I think it might be all about the agent of Conor Gallagher trying to obviously send a signal to Aston Villa that there are other teams that are interested in obviously signing Conor Gallagher, because Aston Villa were close to the deal of Conor Gallagher, but they skipped Conor Gallagher and they went in for another player called Ian Masten. And I went ahead and obviously brought you a story that there is total argument between the clubs, and now they're trying to obviously work onto personal terms and so on and so on to see if this deal really comes to pass. So that is the side of Chelsea and Arsenal. Aston Villa, agent of Conor Gallagher at work, trying to link the player to Arsenal such that a side like Aston Villa will fidget, or any other team that is interested in Conor Gallagher will obviously tell him. Though there are also thoughts that they are willing to offer him a new contract, at the side of Chelsea, and is willing to take it. Remember, he's an academy graduate for the side of Chelsea, and the money they get in as a side of Chelsea will be 100% profit. That's why him and Conor Gallagher and Chalobah are really up for sale, and it's said that it's one of those reasons that Pochettino was really sacked, because he was like, don't sell Conor Gallagher, don't sell Chalobah, and the board was like, we need to reinforce our squad, and the only way we can do that is to sell Conor Gallagher for 50 million pounds and Chalobah for 25, such that they can raise close to 70 plus million pounds, so that they obviously get in players that they feel are right to reinforce the squad for the side of Chelsea. So we wait and see how that pans out, whether we are going to see any growth, or any developments for these inquiries that Arsenal have going to make onto the guy called Conor Gallagher. But we wait, in the summer transfer window, never say that anything is impossible. Anything is possible in the summer transfer window. Arsenal might go in for Conor Gallagher, and we will see how he fits into the squad of Arsenal. But if Arsenal goes for Conor Gallagher, I'll be one of the first people to come out and say they are not having what we call a deliberate intent to win what we call the league. Because if you want to win the league, you need to obviously add in the best of the best that are really around. And obviously they have to go in for better players, the Guimarães, the Neves, those players that those players that will give Pep Guardiola sleepless nights. Let's go to Kylian Mbappé. Yesterday I brought a story that Kylian Mbappé was training and the mask was really great on his head, but we've gone ahead to get a story from NOS. They told us that Kylian Mbappé is not allowed to play with the mask in the colors of the French flag tomorrow, that is today. Only a black mask is allowed. He also was not able to participate in a 11 versus 11 during the final training session tonight, which might decrease his chances of really playing. So, looks like the manager of France is doing what we call a mind game. They made Kylian Mbappé coming through, get donned in that mask. After getting donned in that mask, to send a message to Netherlands that Kylian Mbappé is going to be part of our plan. But it looks like Kylian Mbappé is not going to be part of the plan, and they need to obviously find a black mask for him to obviously feature. And I ask myself, why do France show all this threat and weakness? I think France can beat Netherlands, a team that I support, without Kylian Mbappé. Because if you force Kylian Mbappé come in here, what if his nose really gets another huge damage that can keep him out of the tournament? I think the most important game is the game they're going to be playing next, and I think it's going to be Poland, right? It's going to be Poland. But if you are here and you're like, let's obviously get this man and force him to the field of play, that is really cowardice of the highest level, because rest Mbappe, get in Kolo Muani or Olivier Giroud to lead that line, have Kingsley Coleman on the left, Ousmane Dembele onto the right, then in the midfield, N'Golo Kante, Rabiot and Antonio Griezmann. Enough. Saliba at the back with Upamecano, Jules Koundé right back, and Theo Hernandez left back. Team can obviously take on Netherlands. And I know Kylian Mbappé won't operate at full pelt. That is it. Because do you know what it means when the nose is paining? And it will be easy to obviously hurt him, because everyone will be like, let's go for his nose. You understand? So I think France are really doing a very bad thing. But when you look at the situation and you're reading the room, it looks like France might not obviously get in Kylian Mbappé. And I see no reason for them to bring him on, because I'd rather keep him here and obviously charge him for the game of Poland they're going to be playing next. Remember, in that group, there is France, Netherlands, Austria, and Poland, right? So we wait and see how that pans out. But the game is going to be closing the match day today, and the game is going to be between France and Netherlands. Big game to obviously watch. Then Hands of Ozil has told us that the Emirates Cup will take place this summer, with Arsenal penciled in to face Bayern Leverkusen on Wednesday 7th August and Lyon on 11th August at the Emirates Stadium. So Arsenal are going to be playing 2 games on Wednesday and the 11th. Remember, the Premier League is starting on the 16th, and it's Manchester United kick-starting it off with Fulham, and Arsenal will open up with Arsenal is going to open up with which team? Guys, why am I forgetting? Let me check here. Arsenal. All I know, their next game is going to be against Aston Villa. But let's have a look at their fixtures. Arsenal is opening up with Wolverhampton Wanderers on the 17th, right, at the Emirates. So they'll be using these other games, and they're going to add these 2 games to the already pre-season games they've gone ahead to obviously put out, playing Man United on the 28th of July in America, and Liverpool on the 1st of August. Meaning that after playing Liverpool, they'll fly back to the side of London and play part in Wednesday and then Sunday and kickstart off. But I think in the due course there, Arsenal will have to really fill in a certain game in there for you, because 28th July comes so far for your first game to play against Man United in the US. And I believe they might get an MLS All-Star game down in their for you. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name. I call upon for your reactions on Arsenal making Conor Gallagher inquiry at Chelsea. Would you want Conor Gallagher at Arsenal? Then what do you make about the guy called Kylian Mbappé, who might miss out onto the beautiful game of football that's going to be played today against Netherlands? Reasons are going to be given. Do you believe in those reasons? And lastly, what do you make about the two games that Arsenal have gone ahead to fix when they're like a week from opening up the Premier League with Wolverhampton Wanderers at home? May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Juma Karim. We sign out for now. See you later, and nothing is really gonna stop us from really bringing you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Rokani David is always my name. You know, it's a Friday, 21st of June. Guys, we out. Bye bye.